Hello, beautiful people. It's Jada Joe. Welcome to or back to my channel. Right now, we're gonna have a little honesty hour. Little honesty few minutes, okay? Because the truth is, I have not been doing so hot. Maybe on social media, you can't tell, but I've been struggling mentally. Whenever I talk about things I'm uncomfortable talking about, I sing. So basically, I used to struggle very heavily with depression, and I still stand by the belief that I no longer have depression. However, it's still there, if that makes sense. Like in the back of my head, there are times when it comes knocking at my door and it tries to get in, and I just constantly have to be fighting against it, and fighting it gets easier, so it seems as though, you know, it's not there anymore because I don't notice it as much. But this past week, I have noticed it. I have noticed it knocking. I can hear it knocking. I can feel it knocking. And I've had to work really, really hard to not let it get in, not let it win, because I refuse to go down that path again. So basically, today I just wanted to make a video talking about some things that help me when I feel myself slipping into a depressive episode. And obviously this is going to be very personal. You know, what works for me to not go into depression is not what's going to work for everyone. I'm very aware of that. However, I did just want to show some things that help me to get me out of my head and get me out of the rut when I feel like I'm getting into it. And maybe this will help you the next time that you're feeling a little low. That's my goal for this video. So, let's get started. First of all, let's just acknowledge that I look like a tree. I don't know what this outfit is. All I know is that it's comfortable. And that is one of my tips when I'm not feeling too good. I don't force myself to put on cute clothes. What is this pose that I'm doing? It feels good though. Ugh. I don't force myself to put on an outfit that I don't want to put on. But I also don't like wearing, you know, just sweats and a sweatshirt, because for me it makes me feel very lazy and I will just lay in bed, and that's not good for me when I'm not feeling too hot. So I just put on some comfy clothes, and it doesn't actually make an outfit, but I feel comfortable and I don't feel too lazy in this outfit. Does that make any sense at all? Probably not. I need to
clean my surroundings.
I don't know about any of you, but I get very anxious when I'm in a messy environment, and just cleaning up my space automatically makes me feel 100 times better. When I am feeling low, feeling like I'm slipping into a little depressive episode, I let myself go days and days and days without cleaning up, and it just piles up and makes me feel worse and worse and worse. And so even though it's a little bit of a struggle to get myself to clean when I'm not feeling like it, I feel so much better after. And that's kind of the message behind this whole video, is that when I'm feeling myself slipping into these depressive episodes, I have to be super disciplined and take action to fight against it. You know, it's not enough to just fight it in my brain. I also have to fight it physically, if that makes sense, and actually do things that make me feel better. And during these moments, during these times when I'm not feeling too good, I don't want to do these things. I mean, that's why people struggle so much getting over depression, is because it's not easy to fight it. If it was easy, then I never would have slipped into it in the first place, if that makes sense. And so this is also me staying accountable to myself, making sure that I'm doing the things that I need to be doing, that I know I need to be doing, that are hard to do, but necessary to do during this time, okay? So let's clean up a little bit. Okay, now it's time to make some lunch. It's super important for me to be intentional with my eating during times like this because I have struggled with an eating disorder in the past. And if I am not intentional with my eating habits, when I'm feeling low, I'll slip back into old patterns without even noticing. And then that will just be a double whammy of depression and poor eating habits. We're not gonna let that happen, that's for sure. So I'm making sure that I'm eating 3 times a day. I have an alarm set for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm trying to eat at the same time every day just to set a routine. That's another thing that really helps me during times like this is setting a routine for myself throughout the day, just because when I feel out of control, I tend to get a lot of anxiety and it worsens my symptoms of depression. And I know that I have to learn how to sometimes feel out of control and still be able to function in my life. And I'm getting way, way, way better at that. But during times like this, it's super helpful for me to control what I can't control. And since it is summer, I am able to control what I do throughout the day. So I'm trying to set a set schedule for when I wake up, when I go to bed, and when I eat, because that really, really helps me to ease my anxiety and just make me feel a little more in control. And that's something that really, really helps me. Again, it's super personal. So maybe that's not a trigger for you, feeling out of control, but for me it is. And so that's something I've learned really helps me. But let's make some lunch because my stomach is growling. Surprise, surprise, I'm making a smoothie bowl. I feel like that's the only thing I ever talk about on this channel regarding food. I'm always making smoothie bowls when I'm making videos. I don't know why. I do love them and I do make them a lot, but it definitely seems like I make them all of the time in my videos. That's how I portray it. But I'm putting, ow! It hurts so bad getting frozen banana out of the container. Got some frozen banana, some spinach. You can't even taste it. If you're not adding greens into your smoothie, you're doing something wrong, okay? Cut up some cucumber. Gonna add some of this superfood dietary supplement, greens powder. This product smells so bad, and I remember the first time I used it, so worried my smoothie was just gonna be disgusting, but it actually doesn't taste bad in a smoothie. I don't know how that works, but I promise I would not continue to use this in my smoothies if it made them taste bad, and it doesn't. It just adds more nutrients. Yummy, yummy in my tummy. And I'm gonna add some chlorophyll as well. Again, you can't taste this either. You really only taste the fruit in this smoothie, but some more nutrients. We love the little additives in the smoothie. Good. Is anyone else like this? You cannot eat in a messy environment. You have to clean up the kitchen before you eat in the kitchen. Is that a thing that other people feel? Because I've always felt that way. If I have a messy kitchen, I'm not gonna be able to sit down and be calm while I'm eating. I don't know, that might be just a me thing. There's a lot of things that I'm learning are just me things that I think are not just me things. They're like an actual thing, but it's just a me thing, so that's cool. I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm not like other girls. Bright green, just the way I like it. Oh my gosh, now my smoothie can match my outfit. That is so cute. If you're not matching your smoothie with your outfit, then what the heck are you doing? Because food is now an accessory. Okay, ladies? Hot girl summer. Oh, that is so good. Now the best part, the toppings. Got my hemp seeds. Hemp seeds are my favorite thing ever. I don't know how much a serving size is, but I know I eat more than that. And some coconut. My mouth is watering, I'm so excited for this. And I'm gonna crumble up some pecans. Guys, I just learned that I love pecans. I don't think I've ever had them just plain before until this month, and now I'm obsessed with them. They're so good. Why is no one talking about pecans? Here's the finishing look. Here it is. Wow, Jade is a chef. Wow. So in addition to when and what I eat, it's also super important for me to be intentional with where and how I eat. And what I mean by that is that I don't watch any YouTube or any TV while I'm eating, because I found that when I do that, I'm more likely to binge. I'm more likely to not listen to my hunger cues because I'm not paying attention to them as I'm watching the show. I'm just watching the show, not thinking about it and unintentionally eating. And you know, there's definitely times when I watch stuff while I'm eating and I've gotten better about still checking in with myself while I'm doing that. However, again, during times like this, it's a different case. I have to be extra careful with how I'm eating because I don't want to use food as a coping mechanism for handling the emotions that I'm feeling right now. So, right now we're sitting outside. I love eating outside. I don't know why. I just really love taking myself out of the environment where I make the food. I don't know why that helps me so much, but I just love being outside and not watching anything, not being on my phone, just eating and enjoying the taste of it and listening to my hunger cues when I'm full, whether I need more or not. Yeah. Love smoothie bowls. When I'm feeling like this, my social battery is practically non-existent. Like I have a dentist appointment tomorrow at noon, and I already know that for the rest of the day I'm not gonna be able to do anything because I'm gonna feel drained. I already know that. It's just one appointment, probably will take 30 minutes, and I know I'm gonna be wiped out. Like, I already had a low social battery before the pandemic, but now it's even worse. And then add depression to that. Oh, we're gone. We're gone. Don't talk to me. I literally can't see anyone, or else I'm wiped out for the rest of the week. Like, why does that happen? I want to be with people. I'm lonely, but then when I'm with people, I am wiped out for multiple days. Ugh. Yeah. But it's super important that I don't push myself to hang out with people when I'm not feeling like it, because for me, that doesn't help. I know a lot of other people that when they're not feeling good, they just gotta force themselves to go and be social, and once they are social, they feel so much better. For me, it's not like that because I need to conserve my energy, and I know that I won't feel better if I do that. I will just not want to be there while I'm there. That sounds really bad, but it's just the truth. It's not helpful for me to go push myself to be with people. Just trying to give myself grace. You know, I'm really, really hard on myself, and I do feel guilty when I don't feel like I'm performing at my peak in any area of my life. And so it is frustrating for me when I go through times like this, just because I've worked for years and years and years with therapy and doctors trying to overcome my depression, and there are times when I think that it's totally gone, but then times like this happen and I can tell that it's still there in the back of my head. It's just getting easier to fight, and I think that that's just going to be the rest of my life, of just continuing to fight every time that it comes knocking. And the fighting is getting easier, but you know, that will just be one of my battles, and I know that I can do it, and I hope that me fighting can show you that you can do it too, and that you're strong enough to get through whatever you're going through. It's not easy. Mental illness sucks, and it's affected so many of the lives around me, and I wish that I could take everyone's pain away from them. I don't know why these things have to happen. Just keep fighting. Don't give up. Keep fighting. You deserve a happy, full life. Okay, so like I told you guys, I'm making myself stay on a little bit of a schedule in terms of when I wake up, when I go to bed, and when I eat. That's very tiring for me because all I want to do is sleep during these times, and that's why I do keep a schedule. But I don't want to push myself too hard. Like I was talking about before, I just want to show myself some grace. So I try not to be too hard on myself of, you know, making myself do all of these things throughout the day that I feel like I don't have energy for. I'm making myself eat 3 times a day because we know why I need to do that. And I make myself get up every morning. I actually am running every single morning this week. That's the next video that's coming on my channel. I'm running every single day this week at 6 a.m. because I need something to get me out of bed in the morning, so I gave myself a little bit of a challenge. I love giving myself challenges. They really, really motivate me. I need that little push, and once I'm up, I do feel so much better, and so it really does help me. But again, you know, if that wouldn't work for you, if that would just make it worse, then don't do that. I'm a perfectionist, and I never think that I'm doing enough, as it already is. So when depression hits and I don't feel like doing anything, I get super in my head feeling like I'm not doing enough. But I need to show myself grace and just give myself a little time to relax, and that's okay. One thing that I do make myself do every single day though is use one of my outlets. Let me explain what that means. Everyone needs an outlet, you know? You need something that allows you to express the way you're feeling. And for me, that is songwriting, that's acting, that's journaling. And so every single day I make myself do one of these things because I know that I'll feel better after, as opposed to making myself go out with my friends. I know that I'll just feel drained after. But these outlets that work for me work to energize me and really help me to release the way that I'm feeling, because I do feel like there's so much cooped up inside right now. And so I tell myself, just 15 minutes. That's all you gotta do. Just do 15 minutes of songwriting, or 15 minutes of acting, or 15 minutes of journaling. And it always ends up being longer, because once I start doing it, I don't want to stop, because they are such outlets for me and I love doing them so much. But when I'm feeling down, I don't have the motivation to do them. That's one thing that is a red flag for me. I know that I'm not doing too well if the things that usually bring me joy and that I'm really excited to do, I'm not motivated to do. With that, I am going to go finish a song that I started yesterday. Let's go write a freaking song! I went for a run this morning, tried to get out my head. I don't know what storm's coming, but I'm sensing some rain ahead. I know it seems so pointless, stressing about what's next. I've had some bad shit happen in my defense. I wanna make them proud. I refuse to let them down. I wonder what it means to, for once, feel like I'm actually at peace. It's really confusing because anxiety and depression are on like the opposite sides of the spectrum. You know what I mean? Like anxiety, your mind's going a million miles an hour, you can't slow down, you can't relax. And then depression, your mind's like underactive and you can't get it to do things. Yet both of them happen in my brain at the same time. How does that work? And again, I don't have depression right now, but I have depressive thoughts, if that makes sense. Does that make any sense? I don't really understand either. All I know is that I'm struggling, and when I'm struggling, I struggle to sleep. And that's what I wanted to show you guys next, is my little nighttime routine that I've been implementing, because I think it's super, super important, especially if you struggle to go to bed, to have a nighttime routine to prepare your body to shut down. Because before, I was just going on autopilot all day, and then all of a sudden I was like, okay, time for bed, go to bed, body. And obviously it's not ready for that after I was just doing things and just stimulating my brain, and it just doesn't work like that. So recently I've been implementing a nighttime routine that helps me to shut down my brain, helps me to transition into sleep mode. It's not easy though. Like I never want to do it, you know, when it's time, because at the time that I start to wind down, I'm not tired. And that's why I have to start to wind down, because I'm not tired, but it's almost time for bed. Does that make any sense? Once I get into it, like most things that I've talked about in this video, once I start doing it, once I get into it, I really enjoy it and I'm really glad that I did it. So let me show you what I do. So basically, I close my blinds, I turn on my little nightstand lamp, I light a candle, and then I get out my little journal. That's my songwriting journal, because I've really been enjoying songwriting before I go to bed. It's a really great way to just get my thoughts out before I go to bed. Because if I don't do that, if I don't journal or do something like that before I go to bed, all my thoughts start racing when I lay down in bed, and I just have to think about them for so long before I can fall asleep. So it really helps to get stuff out before I go to bed. That's also the book that I'm reading, because reading definitely makes me a little bit sleepy, especially when I'm doing it in my bed. And so this is my little way of telling my body that I'm preparing to go into sleep mode. Basically, everything that I talked about today are just ways that I am intentionally taking care of myself every single day. That's really the biggest thing for me when I catch myself slipping into these depressive episodes, is to take time away from social media, take time away from trying to do all of these things that I'm not motivated to do in that moment, and just taking care of myself, just sitting with myself, reflecting on how I'm feeling, allowing myself to feel the way that I feel, journaling about it, you know, using my outlets to try to express these feelings so I don't just keep them cooped up inside inside of me until I overflow and explode. And that's what I'm getting better at, is once it hits, I don't say, oh, let's see how long I can go before I have to address this problem. I address it right away, because that's the only way that I can continue to work through it, is to address it right away. You know, I go to therapy and I talk about this with a professional as well. I'm very grateful that I have the resources to do that. If not, it's also great to talk to a friend or talk to someone about the way that you're struggling, and just do your best to take care of yourself. We're all going through it right now. This past year has been crazy, crazy, crazy. A lot of people have been struggling mentally. You are not alone, and that's why I wanted to make this video. These are some ways that I like to take care of myself and like to prioritize my well-being when I am struggling. And if you have anything that helps you, please comment it down below, and I would love to hear. I would love to chat. Keep prioritizing your mental health, because it is equally, if not more important than your physical health. Okay? I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah.